Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two super easy and super cute Halloween decorations using Dollar Tree items. Alright friends, let's get started. So first off, please listen to me here. Yes, I got some new ink on my hand. Let me tell you about this just very briefly, okay? This was done by my new friend Jessica from Poison Apple Studios in Morganton, North Carolina. On this thumb, I have a moon and stars. I have a ghost cat, a little knife, a potion bottle, and some crystals. I'm going to link to her Instagram and everything else down below in the description box, and I'll also pin a comment. Listen, I was a wound care nurse for quite a while, on top of being a nurse manager of several facilities. I'm knocking things down. Yes, I took the Sanoderm off, but I have more over here, and as soon as this video is done, I'm wrapping them back up, okay? I gotta work. I gotta live. And part of it was coming off as well, so that's why I took it off. But as far as these styrofoam balls go, I got this at Walmart, 3.8 inches. Does it have to be this size? No, it doesn't have to be this size. I just wanted it this size. You can make a smaller one if you like. Now, this is from Dollar Tree, this little cone here, 6.9 inches tall, and this here is the 2.9 inches in diameter, the base. Like I said, you can use whatever you want. If you don't have a styrofoam cone, I'm knocking a lot of stuff down. My table is so full because I'm actually working on Christmas videos now as well. But if you don't have a styrofoam cone, you can use anything. You could use a vase. You could use a candle holder. I just needed something to put this on, okay? So that's why I'm using this. I meant to use these scissors. These are sharper than these. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to take this and just make a hole in this because we're going to fit this down on top of the cone, okay, to make our base ghost body. And yes, y'all have been seeing these probably all over Facebook, all over Pinterest, and I'm just doing my version in this video today. All right, I'm just going to dump that in the floor because I need to sweep in here anyway. So let's see if this is going to fit down on here. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. All right, I think this should be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hot glue on here. I suggest using a low temp hot glue. My glue is not completely heated up. I'm really having to squeeze it here. The glue gun is shaking. I'm really having to squeeze it. But it is not fully heated up, and that's okay. Because, you know, this Dollar Tree foam here, it really, really melts under the heat of the hot glue. So I'm just going to hold this in place until this glue sets up. Okay, so that glue has set up. And now what we're going to be using next is one of these microfiber cloths from the Dollar Tree. One of these white fuzzy cloths. And let's see, let's set this here. And then we're just going to drape it down over top. Now listen, this cloth, I know, on the sides is not very long, but if you just take it and just work with it and just tuck it down little at a time, you really just have to work with it. And then you can hide your little corners here and then just drape it down like so. I don't want to cut this just yet, okay, until I get everything put together, because we're going to be bringing some of this around to hold the pumpkin. All right, so it looks like this so far, and I am going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue it right up here on top like that. Just pour some of this here like that and just place it back down, and I'll get it all flared out exactly the way I want it to look. Okay, I believe that glue has set up, and now what I want to do is let's find the longest part, kinda, that's not going to be giving us a hard time here. And we're going to take this little pumpkin. Now, you can use any pumpkin. Dollar Tree has these. I believe this one in particular was in some things that I had bought at Joann's. But we're going to take the little pumpkin here, and then all that you're going to do is just barely, you see how I just kind of sandwiched that pumpkin in with our cloth here? I want to find the best angle for this, but that's basically how we're going to do it. This is why I didn't want to really cut this or glue it down any other place except for the very top just yet, you know, just to see how everything is going to look. But we have our two folds here. And then I'm just going to put a blob of glue here, and you're really going to have to hold this in place. We're going to hold that in place until it sets up, and then I'm going to do it on the other side here. You see this annoying gnat? We're going to do it on the other side so that when you let it go, it's going to be holding it. Okay, so I believe the glue has mostly set up. And now I was trying to look for a wooden round. You know, Dollar Tree carries like these little wooden pieces that are little circles. I have an egg shape that was left over in some of my Easter stuff. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to glue this to the bottom here. Because if you're using the foam cones, it's very lightweight. Now, if you're using something like a candle holder or something, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is just going to help it kind of just to stand up a little bit better. And we're just going to stand it up and flare this out, and it covers it just perfectly. And let's just really work with this and see how exactly we want this to be. Like I said, I know that this is difficult to see with the angle of the camera, so I'll probably lay it down again here in a sec. So, this felt, with my trusty scissors here, we're just going to be cutting out some ovals to use for the eyes. Okay, so that took me a minute. That took me longer than I would like to admit to get these little eyes cut out. So let's bring our ghosty back. Sit still, ma'am. Okay, so let's see where we want to put these eyes. Like I said, I apologize for the angle, but I got to work with what I got, right? So then we're going to glue on the little eyes. I know I chipped my nail polish a while ago, and I haven't fixed it. I'm sorry. Don't come after me. All right. This stupid gnat. If you're new here, you should know that I live beside of a cow pasture, and I fight gnats and flies, especially in this room, really. I think this bow is the correct size. All right, so I know I haven't been putting out as many videos as I would like to. I've mentioned that on Facebook. I'm dealing with someone that I was working with that was helping me with orders on my website, and they have completely and utterly screwed everything up. So it has taken all I can do right now to focus on that, and I'm trying to get everything fixed, okay? I really am. Please just believe me when I tell you I'm trying to get everything fixed. So, yeah, I'm just dealing with a whole handful of things right now. Okay, I'm just going to hold this here until that glue sets up. All right, so I believe this is done. Like I said, I know that this is a very difficult angle for tall crafts. I'm trying to get something else to hold my phone so it will like elevate it a little bit, so it's easier to see in the future. But for right now, this is what I'm working with. And of course, you've seen the video at the beginning, the photo at the beginning of the video. But if you'll hang tight, I have another one coming up, and we're moving on to our next craft. Okay, friends, this is another one of those viral crafts I'm sure that you've seen floating around everywhere. I know my lighting sucks. I've said this before. Part of my lighting rig has broken. I'm working on fixing that anyway. You're going to need a plunger. This is from Dollar Tree, of course. And we're also going to need one of these mop heads from Dollar Tree. Cotton mop head. Now, let's get this out of the way. Be gone! You don't have to paint this if you don't want to. You can leave it just like this. It would look absolutely fine. My phone cut off. I'm going to paint this chestnut color just to give it a little bit more of a contrast between this and then the mop part that we're going to put on it here in a minute. And we're, of course, going to put some decorations on it, but you know. But anyway, I'm just going to take this paint and we're going to paint the handle here. I'm letting it rest on this piece of felt over here so that it doesn't make so much of a noise click-clacking around on the table. Okay, so I believe the paint has dried on here, and we're going to set that off to the side. Now, this is a mop head from Dollar Tree, and what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the little strands out of it. As you can see, there's just a plastic part under there that has these all sandwiched together. And once you start pulling the strands out, just find one that comes out, there we go, kind of sort of easily. They all will start coming out pretty easily once you get just a handful out. So let's just pull this out. And then I'm going to show you, I'm not going to pull all of these out. Let's just get a handful and then we'll start working with it. But you want to decide on here. Oh, I hate working with these tall crafts. I really do. But you want to decide like where you want this to kind of start your this stuff here. So we're going to take a look at it. And I think I want it to start right about here is good. You can see the distance that I have to the rubber part. but we're going to be gluing it on kind of upside down like this, okay, with the longer part up towards the handle, so that later when we bring it down, we're going to have a nice little rounded edge here, okay? So what I'm going to do is, let's just start gluing them down like this. And I'm just going to hold that down. And now I'm going to glue a whole bunch of these all the way around. Now that all of this is glued on, what we're going to do is we're going to flip it back over. And hopefully all this glue has set up. So let's see. I'm going to go back and we're going to trim this down. Let's try to get this down here and see about how long we want to cut it. I say you want to give yourself at least a few inches below here so that it can flare out. Okay, so let's cut this. Let's get this out of the way. And then I'm just going to go around and we're going to trim these other pieces to the same length as this one. Okay, and of course I'm going to go back around and we'll trim all of them. But let's just take one of these and we're going to start twisting it just to get them separated. Now I know a lot of people use the bigger nautical type rope from Dollar Tree to make these. A lot of people are saying they're having difficulties finding that in the store. So this is why I'm using the mop head. These are just a little bit easier to find. So that's why I'm using it for this video. And then once you get all of the other strands cut, you're just going to untwist all of them like this. All right, so I have all of these separated. And yes, I'm going to add some more. Just want to get like this top layer done so that we can see. Okay. All right. So now all of these pieces that I cut off of the bottom of these, I'm now going to glue those below here. And I'm just going to glue them like this. Okay, so let's put a little bit of glue right here. And I'm just going to glue these down. And yes, I'm going to fan these out as well, just like I did these up here. Okay. And this will look better once we get everything fanned out and trimmed up and moved around. It will look better. I did go back and put on a third row of this, of the mop. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this twine. And let's cut a piece. If we need more, we can always add on more, right? So then what I'm going to do is we're going to try to decide about where we want it. Right about here. And then we're just going to take this twine and we're going to wrap it around and around and around. Okay, now I'm tying this in a knot back here and then trim it away. And like I said, once we get everything on here and spread out and everything, it's going to look a lot better than what it does now, okay? So don't worry about that. Now we're also going to trim this. We're not going to leave this like this. Just kind of, let's see about where we want it to be. I'm just going to take a few strands here and see about where I want it to be, right about here. Stop. Yeah, right about here, I think. And then I'm going to trim this, and then we're going to go all the way around and trim all of it. Okay, so now that we get this feathered out, it looks so much better. You're probably thinking, well, why didn't you dye these? Why didn't you use the rope? Like I said, a lot of people are having a hard time finding the rope. If you can't find the rope, of course, you can use the mop head. If you want it to be darker to match your ribbon and other decorations, then you can brew up some really strong coffee. You can brew some really strong tea. Just stain it. Stain it if you want to. You don't have to leave it bright like this. Hold on, let's trim this right here. You don't have to leave it bright. I'm just choosing to leave it this way. So now let's put on a bow and a few other decorations. All right, so I'm holding a bow down here, and y'all have seen me make this bow so many times, my awesome, easy, no-tie bow. Like I said, I'm having to hold it in place and waiting for the glue to set up. Now, the bow looks like garbage right now because I've been manhandling it pretty much, trying to get it into place and to hold it so that the glue sets up. But once this glue sets up, then we are going to glue on some of these spiders from Dollar Tree. And I don't know if I want to put the bats on here. The bats would look good to reflect the ribbon. But I'm not digging all this glitter. So I think for this, I think I'm just going to stick with these spiders. Now these spiders come on clips, and I'm going to pull the spiders off of the clips, and then you're going to have to cut that little plastic piece off. You see that plastic piece down in there? You're going to have to cut that off. But once this sets up, then I'm going to glue those on. Let's get this fanned out and then decide where we want our spiders placed And then just glue those on wherever you see fit. I'm going to glue on a few more spiders, and then that will be that. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which will be in the description box down below. I'll talk to you later. Bye.